Yes, my dear friend, welcome back to the channel. Very good afternoon to you wherever you are on the globe, especially on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, right here in Southeast Asia. It is our evening. We are in the evening, yes, exactly 10 p.m. here in Asia. You in Africa, it should be your afternoon. In Europe, you are still in your afternoon. In America, it is in the morning. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very hot afternoon edition. Wherever you are, stay glued, don't go anywhere. Like the video, share the video, and let me hear from you in the comment section. As usual, let me know where you're watching from, and let me know you by your name. Let's get started. Wow, today or this afternoon, I want to speak a little bit about Pedro Neto, yes, and Sancho. I will not go much into Sancho because I've spoken at length about Sancho in the past few days. But I would like to elaborate more on Neto this afternoon. You see, one of the reasons why Neto seems to struggle this far, since he signed for Chelsea, is what I want to discuss with you. Trust me, you know I'm good in analyzing some of these things, right? So don't go anywhere. If you play Neto as the left winger, if we continue to play Pedro Neto as a left winger, we are purely looking for him to create chances for the team. Oh yes. Playing Pedro Neto as a left winger, we are looking at him to create chances for the team. Neto's method of creating chances is crosses and cutbacks. Oh yeah. However, Chelsea lack any real area presence in a box that can get on the end of his crosses. We lack area presence in a box that can get on his crosses. That has been a challenge for Neto. That is why it looks as if we are not seeing the real Neto that we bought. With cutbacks, we've been overloading the left-hand side so much. The left-hand side, with the cutbacks, we've been overloading our left-hand side, making it hard to find himself free to consistently pick his passes. You can check on all of his videos. Maybe, I'm not too sure if I don't want any copyright strike. I would have loved to play some of the videos. You see, when he plays as a left back, we need to allow him more 1 versus 1, one-on-one, and bring in numbers into the box. If we do this, he will do well. We will need to bring in more numbers, more players who have to get into the box and allow him play one-on-one. Means that he might be facing another opponent. He plays with the ball, 1 versus 1, and then at that moment we have more men into the box or in the area where whenever he delivers the ball, they can attack. Essentially, we as a club haven't helped him yet. Yeah, let me use the word yet. We haven't helped him yet. Maybe our coaches by now, maybe they could have identified this situation and solved it by now. Maybe. Oh yes. You see, squad building perspective and tactics are very essential when you buy players like Pedro Neto. Squad building and perspectives and tactics are very essential when you have players, creative players like Pedro Neto in your squad. Now, if he did play at right wing instead of the left wing, if he did play at right wing, if our coach should use him at the right wing with similar dynamics we've seen so far, he will do well. He will do well. A left wing that can ghost into around the box will be ideal. Don't misunderstand me. Left wing, if he plays from the left wing and he can ghost into the central area around the box will be ideal for him. But we already seen weird narratives like Neto can't play in congested spaces being formed, and that is a big lie. It is a big lie that Neto can't play in congested spaces. No. Give him the ball 1 versus 1. Load the attack. Let men drop into the box area. Those that will be in the ball, they can attack from his crosses. He's much more better in that area. 1 versus 1. If we fail to do this, then we can't get the best out of Pedro Neto, dear friends. Before we continue, dear friends, you see, the difference between Pedro Neto and Jadon Sancho is this. When it comes to Sancho, let our opponent park the bus. We have Sancho who can break into any defensive line. He can deliver a specific pass that will break the defensive line of any opponent. Oh yes. Personally, I would have wished that we will face a team like Man City this time around with Pedro Neto and Sancho in our attack. Even though they are not the typical teams that pack the bus, they rather attack. But you know the defensive work of Manchester City. And that is what I'm using as an example. Park the bus and we bring on Sancho. And if you want to break high line, teams that love to play the high line, yes, bring on Pedro Neto. Bring on Pedro Neto. Maresca doesn't disappoint with his substitutions. That you should remember. Our coach, he doesn't disappoint. So far, his substitutions are on spot. So if any team that we will face right now as a Chelsea Football Club, and they decide to pack the line, so long as these players are on our bench, so long as they are on a bench, and the team, our opponent, decide to pack the bus, we bring in Jadon Sancho, we can break that bus down. If they decide to play the high line, they would love to push forward. Their defenders are all up the field. Oh yes, bring on Pedro Neto. With these two, we can take on any team. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea is built. We are building a squad that in the Premier League, this season, people might not see the best out of Chelsea. But trust me, by next season, if this coach will do the job properly, with the talent we have right now, well, the sky will be the limit. We move on. I believe you are getting my point clearly. Now, this coming weekend, we are playing against West Ham, dear friends. And West Ham is another team that is full of talent. When David Moyes was sacked, I was one of those that was shocked. I was shocked that their coach, they sacked David Moyes. I understand last season he struggled a little bit. Last season. But let us not forget, he did not get the crop of players that he actually wanted for pre-season. Players like Mohamed Kudus came in late. And they still delivered. But because of the last 2 seasons, they were in the Europa League. They've been in the Europa League consistently. Because they dropped points last season, he was sacked. Now, Chelsea meeting West Ham, head to head. I'll be giving you that probably tomorrow. But you see, beating West Ham at the London Stadium this weekend will speak volumes for Chelsea Football Club. We haven't won there since Thomas Tuchel's first season at Chelsea. We haven't won there since Thomas Tuchel's first season at Chelsea. So, for Chelsea Football Club or Chelsea, this current squad, to go to London Stadium and beat West Ham this weekend, dear friend, I'll have to get a champagne. Yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. I will need a champagne to celebrate that. I want to go to Nicholas Jackson, but most of you don't want me to talk about Jackson again. I will still go there, so long as he's still a Chelsea player. But before I get to that, Chelsea want to get rid of several fringe players in January. And 88 million pounds winger Mykhailo Mudryk is among those who could leave. I said Disasi, Benoit Badiashile, and Ben Chilwell could also be sold in the winter window. Dear friends, I said Disasi, Benoit Badiashile, Ben Chilwell could also be sold in the winter window. You see, I brought this up not because of Disasi or Benoit Badiashile or Ben Chilwell. Ben Chilwell, we know this last window we were desperate to sell him. Now he's back to the first team training. But talking about Axel Disasi, Benoit Badiashile, a player that Axel Disasi, one of the reasons why I have been calling for Chilwell to get back into the first team. You cannot keep Axel Disasi and Benoit Badiashile and you let go of Chilwell. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I understand we bought Axel Disasi, we bought Benoit Badiashile. Chilwell is a homegrown player. We sold him for pure, we wanted to sell him for pure profit, right? Now he's on loan. For pure profit, we want to let him go. Just like Ben Chilwell, pure profit, right? Great. If we are looking at building a squad that will compete in the next year, next 2 years, next 3 years, for Chelsea to get back to that winning ways, there are certain caliber of play that Chelsea need to maintain. You know it and I know it. But these owners, I don't know what message they want us to still send to them. We've been sending a lot of messages of late. They've been hearing us, they are in the media, they listen to us on the media. The mainstream media, yeah, they are always there. They are always there. Well, tonight or this afternoon, depends on where you are. Maybe you are in Africa, it's hot afternoon. Here in Asia, it is in the evening. I would like to conclude on this, on 3 things. Our next game with West Ham is very crucial for the confidence of this squad. Our midweek game for the EFL is very crucial for the players that will not partake in this current game or this weekend game. It is time Enzo Maresca work on his first 11. Oh yes. It is time we begin to see our first 11 in this squad. You know why? Some of us, it's difficult for us to predict our first 11. Very difficult. In every team, you have to identify with your first 11. Then only there will be a real competition in the squad. You don't leave it open, thinking, oh, I can just make my decision tomorrow's game. Michael, Timothy, Toby, you are the one playing tomorrow's game. No. Let it be known consistently, this is your first 11. 1 or 2 changes in games, yeah, it helps. It helps. Why am I saying this, dear friends? By January transfer window, if care is not taken, we will be losing some of our most influential players. Chelsea will end up losing some influential players if they cannot be guaranteed consistent playing time. A good offer to Kopama next transfer window, I can bet he'll be tempted to leave Chelsea Football Club. A good offer for Christopher Nkunku in the next transfer window, I can bet he'll be tempted to leave Chelsea Football Club if there's no guaranteed playing time. I heard after our last game against Bournemouth, when the coach made a statement, I already told the players that there's no guaranteed playing time for any one of them. It's not the way forward. It's not the way forward. If you want to maintain your best players, you don't speak to them that way. You see, player management is different from tactical issues on the pitch. There are many coaches that are very good in player management. There are others that are good in tactics. Maresca is good in tactics. I have identified that. I've realized that Enzo Maresca is more of tactical coach. Hands on deck. He's always right there on tactics. Spot on. He does the right changes at the right time. But man management could be a big issue if we don't start to get our first 11 right. Dear friends, so to some other issues before I let you go tonight. PSG no longer attract the same media attention, and shirt sales have declined drastically since the departure of Lionel Messi and Neymar, plus Kylian Mbappe. The club and League One have lost their bargaining power in sponsorship negotiations and overseas TV deals. That is the latest news coming from League One. Well, quickly, where you don't want me to go, I still want to go there. I'm being tempted to go there. I am being tempted to go there. Nicola Jackson. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, he's my boy. Say whatever you want to say. Jackson, he is my boy. Jackson's other skills are the bulwark of his case to remain a Chelsea starter. His selfless presence, his intelligent movement, his improving hold-up play, and his often sublime link-up with attacking teammates. He more often than not makes those around him better. He makes those players around him better players. But similar can be Christopher Nkunku, who can do most of the same things to at least an equivalent level. Dear friends, for you that doubt Nicola Jackson, give him time. I repeat, for those of you that are doubting Nicola Jackson, give him time and you'll see the best out of him pretty soon. Quickly, before I let you go, some shoutouts. Finally, big shoutouts. You are very right about Noni Mudryk. The club just wants other clubs to overprice him. Coming from Innocent Tuguno. Well, let me know your original name and where you're watching from next time, and I'll give you a better shout out. But your message is very clear. He said, you are very right on Noni Mudryk. That was very right. Speaking about my first video, I was very right on Noni Mudryk. Big shout out to you out there. This one from, says what? Mr. Salom, point of correction on the way you pronounce the name Caicedo. You always say Caicedo, but he is Caicedo. Check all your clips. You call Caicedo, but he is Caicedo. George Elson from Malawi. Big shout out to you, George Elson from Malawi. Point noted. My good teacher. Point noted. Yes. David Wonderson says Noni Mudryk must be sold in January or next summer because William and Kendry will be joining in June. David from GH Ghana. I have not spoken about Estaval. I have something to talk. My goodness. Well, maybe my next episode. Big shout out to you, David from Ghana. Big shout out to you. This guy from Moses what? Abiodun. Please let me have your names clearly. I cannot be reading from your emails. Let me have your names clearly and where you are watching from. He said we will need a coach in Chelsea and good players in Chelsea that can collect Champions League for us. Chelsea Champions League team. All right. Well, right now we are doing with what we have right now. The coach we have right now, he is on 4.2 million pounds wages. I told you earlier on today, one of the lowest, number 10th on the league table. What do you expect? Pep is on 20 million pounds, dear friend. Big shout out to you, my dear friend. Perpetual Arta says, good work. Big shout out to you out there, Perpetual Arta from GH Ghana. The next, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. Osimhen can compete with Haaland 100%. Big shout out to you out there, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. Again, he says Sancho took Dortmund to the Champions League final. Very good one out there. Correction taken in good faith. Big shout out to you, Sadiq Adeleke Sadiq. Anefiok Moses says, Salon's blog. Thanks for the good job. I appreciate your update. And the house now is at peace. More grace, said Anefiok Moses from Delta State, Nigeria. Big shout out to you, my good friend, Anefiok Moses from Delta State, Nigeria. This one says, Chelsea team is becoming stronger at the moment. I hope Chelsea will cling to the top 4 at the end of the season. Madison from Kenema, Celerio. Big shout out to you, Madison from Kenema, Celerio. This one says, Coach did a lot on Sanchez immediately he acquired the job. Oh, I think I read this the last time on my last video. Anyway, guys, let me leave you all here. I should be back with more exclusive and explosive in the coming hours. See you when you see me, dear friend. Shalom and peace.